Hello. Today we're going to enjoy the Runaway Dreidel by Leslea Newman. Children will be familiar with the rhyme scheme. It sounds like 'twas the night before Christmas, and of course you'll recognize the aspects of the gingerbread man. 'Twas the first night of Hanukkah, and on the 5th floor there was holiday hustling and bustling galore. Papa was shining the silver menorah. Mama was wrapping a gift for Aunt Dora. Grandma was slicing up 2 chocolate babkas. Grandpa was grating potatoes for latkes. Sister was stirring the soup with a ladle, and I at her feet spun my shiny new dreidel. Each letter flew by, nun gimel hey shin. It was making me dizzy to see them all spin. So I reached out my fingers to grab my new top, but that silly old dreidel, it just wouldn't stop. It spun round the kitchen and straight down the hall. It spun down the carpet, right up the wall. It spun through the bathroom, right over the sink. It spun through the living room, quick as a wink. It spun toward the front door, which flew open wide as uncles and cousins and aunts poured inside. Runaway dreidel! I tried to squeeze past, but it was no use. That toy was too fast. It spun down the 4th floor, past Mrs. Gray's wreath. It spun down the 3rd floor, past Otto's sharp teeth. It spun down the 2nd floor, past my friend Pete. It spun down the 1st floor and onto the street. My family and neighbors all took up the chase, but they were no match for the dreidel's swift pace. It spun past the bakery, right by the challah. The baker was selling it cheap, 2 for $1. It spun past the grocer, who gave us a treat to keep up our strength as we raced down the street. It spun past a shoe store and past a boutique. It spun past 2 delis, one kosher, one Greek. It spun over a taxi and under a truck. A cop tried to stop it, but she had no luck. It spun out of the city and on down the road, out into the country. It never once slowed. It spun past a barn, a horse, and a cow. We kept up the chase. We couldn't stop now. It spun through a forest past hundreds of trees. It just wouldn't stop, even though I said, please. It spun through a valley an inch out of reach. It spun through a clearing and then onto a beach. I ran after my dreidel, my feet in the sand. In a minute my toy would be safe in my hand. But that dreidel just kept up its dizzying motion. It spun through the water, right over the ocean. And then in a wink and a blink of an eye, my dreidel had spun itself up to the sky. It spun past the planets. It spun past the stars. At last it stopped spinning, a stone's throw from Mars. It sparkled and glittered and twinkled and shone like a jewel in the crown of a queen on her throne. We stared at my dreidel, our jaws all gone slack, till Mama said it was time to turn back. At home we ate latkes and lit the menorah, and then just for fun we all danced the hora. We opened our presents and ate chocolate gelt. It was then that we noticed how tired we felt. My uncles and cousins and aunts turned to go, so we walked them outside to the street down below, where we said, standing under a star shining bright, Happy Hanukkah to all, and to all a good night. I hope you enjoyed that story. That Hanukkah really got away from that little boy. If you were to write the ending of the story, where would your dreidel spin off to? Give that a thought and enjoy the fun. Thank you. Goodbye for now.